You mentioned the organization earlier. I've never heard of it before. Lev Tahor? Lev Tahor, am I saying it correctly?
Lev Tahor.
Lev Tahor.
It's Hebrew for essentially the pure ones.
Yeah, and this was a Jewish cult, right, that you were talking about earlier.
It was a spin-off from ultraorthodox. It was started by a man named Shlomo Helbrins in Israel. And then he came to the U.S., went to Canada, ended up dying in Mexico.
What does Guatemala have to do with this?
They were constantly running from authorities, and they would eventually end up in Guatemala and create a compound outside of Guatemala City. And the issue was not what they believed. The issue was how they behaved. So they were having children as young as 12 married. They were abusing the little girls in the group. There was sexual abuse of little boys in the group alleged against the leader, Shlomo Helbrins. They weren't being properly fed. They weren't receiving proper medical attention. They unearthed a child's body in the compound when they raided it. And the children, and I went through their testimonies because I prepared a report for the court, they were beaten brutally. The corporal punishment in the group was very excessive. And of course, Helbrins was a virtual dictator. And then his son, who succeeded him, occupied that same position. And I would work with children in the group and families affected by the group and see how anyone that left was labeled in a very negative way, and you had to let go of them, disregard them, and so on. So again, it wasn't about what the group believed. There were beliefs of the group about how women had to dress, that they were different and more extreme than even the most Orthodox Jews. The issue was, how do they behave? How are the children being treated? Are they being treated abusively, illegally, criminally? And so the group was investigated again and again, and it would flee from one country to another to evade those investigations. And the issue for them, they would say, oh, we're being persecuted. We're being persecuted. No, they were being prosecuted because of their behavior, and it was criminal.
Yeah, and this guy even went to, because when you're saying 12-year-olds, I mean, that's normal in many Muslim countries. You hear stories about that, right? And there, so they even he wrote a letter to Ali Khamenei. Did you know about this or no?
No.
Yeah, apparently he wrote a letter to Ali Khamenei seeking asylum. The son did, after Lev Tahor, the founder, died. So leadership shifted to figures including Nachman Helbrins, his son, and Meir Rosner. Beginning in 2018, 2019, their leadership attempted to seek political asylum in Iran. Out of all the places, why would you want to go to Iran? And wrote letters pledging allegiance to Ayatollah Khamenei. Declared the desire to establish a Lev Tahor community under Iranian protection. Were intercepted while trying to travel through Central America towards Iran. U.S. court filing later revealed that they attempted to smuggle children internationally, planned to flee to Kurdish-controlled region en route to Iran, held an ideology that revered Iran as safe haven. Can you imagine the link between this Jewish organization that felt safe going to Iran because they had younger children that they felt safer over there? Now, this you would call a cult.
Most definitely. And most recently, there were a number of children that were taken out of Guatemala, and they were then apprehended by the police in Colombia. So this, this group has a history of evading investigations of child abuse by moving from country to country. And again, whatever the group says, the leadership says is right. Whatever the group says is wrong, regardless if it conflicts with the law. And this is the issue, really. I mean, this is the difference between what could be seen as a benign cult and a destructive cult. Is the group criminally hurting people? How is the group hurting people? What is it doing? Its behavior.
Yeah.
And of course, what Lev Tahor would say is we're doing what the Torah teaches. They would wrap themselves in Judaism, the Torah, the Talmud, whatever, and say, this is what we're about. Well, speaking as a Jew and someone who has worked with the ultra-Orthodox community to help children escape Lev Tahor and be reunited with relatives where they are safe, they're not practicing ultra-Orthodox Judaism. I've met with rabbis that are leaders of the Hasidic communities, and they abhor what Lev Tahor has done, and they have supported helping these children. In fact, one of the children that I worked with was later kidnapped by Lev Tahor. At the time she was 14, and Nachman Helbrands is now in prison, and that is one of the reasons he's being held as a prisoner, is that he flagrantly broke the law. Well, see, these groups that have often been called cults or destructive cults, yeah, I think that might be Shlomo Helbrands or one of the leadership. So he would. Excuse me, Nachman Helbrands. So what happened was the leaders were being held accountable for their decisions, how they affected families, how they affected the lives of children, and it wasn't about their beliefs, because the ultra-Orthodox Hasidic rabbis I've spoken with would agree with some of their beliefs, but not their beliefs regarding how they treated children, or for that matter, how they often treated women. And so groups like Lev Tahor hide behind the mask of religion, but the question is, how do they behave? Do they behave criminally? Do they hurt people? What are they doing to the children? What are they doing? Not what are they praying, but what are they doing? And so the issue of accountability is about behavior, not about belief. And I would not propose that groups be labeled destructive cults because of their beliefs, but rather because of their behavior and lack of accountability.
Got it. Makes sense. And I'm with that.
Hi, I'm Rick Allen Ross, cult expert, intervention specialist, author of the book Cults Inside Out. You can find me on Connect.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.